Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, four-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight, we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Kristen L. Pope. A little bit about her. Kristen L. Pope is an award-winning journalist, TV host, sought-after speaker, and CEO of Pope Productions. Kristen won a documentary award from the New York Association of Black Journalists, a Woman in Media award, and also been listed as a woman to watch. Most recently, Kristen contributed as an on-air reporter to NBC Pope Productions. Pope Productions creates culture-shaping content and serves as an incubator, equipping the next generation of broadcast leaders. Pope created the flagship variety show, The Positive Controversy with Kristen Pope, set to release its second season this year. Through Pope Productions, Kristen has packaged her decade of expertise as a television broadcaster in her recently released first online course, the On Air Academy, the go-to course to secure your next job on air. In addition to love for media, Kristen has a passionate heart for women that fiercely led her to create the King's Daughters, Inc. in 2008, a community for women to anchor their identity in Christ and grow through personal development. As an in-demand speaker and mistress of ceremony, Kristen is known for her natural wit, including completing almost 24 stand-up comedy performances in the Boston area where she resides. Kristen's credits her greatest treasure as mom to her toddler Lily Lee Pope. Most recently, Kristen founded Mom Life Streets, an authentic conversation in woman and motherhood. Kristen is authentic. She adds value to the room because she brings her full self, and which gives everyone else the courage to do the same. When Kristen is not working, she serves organizations she loves and spending time with her husband, Richard, and their daughter, Lily. Welcome to the table, the amazing Kristen L. Pope.
Woo! Thank you, Ashley. I was like, who's doing all that stuff? Oh, gosh. But no, seriously, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here and talk with you tonight.
You are welcome. I'm amazed. I'm humbled to have you on the show to share your wisdom and knowledge that I know that you're going to share with our audience tonight. And you have an amazing bio. So please share with the listeners more about your entrepreneur journey.
So I can now say that I am a full-time entrepreneur, and that means a lot to me because it was not a clear path. It wasn't an easy path. I created my first venture in college. A couple of friends and I decided that we were going to throw some parties because in college you have a lot of organizations, a lot of small companies throwing parties, and so we thought we were going to get in on it, and we threw our first party, and like 7 people showed up. It was a miserable failure, and we owed the venue money when it was over, and so it was a big learning lesson for us as to, it was kind of our first learning lesson of the things that we did wrong and how we could, better perfect that. So I decided I need to stick with my books. I'm not quite ready to be an entrepreneur, but that was a great learning lesson. And so fast forward 2014, I created a company called Pope Productions. And so it was mainly content driven, but I honestly did not know how to create revenue. And the goal of Pope Productions was to become a multimedia production company, a multimedia agency, which is what it is today. And so because it was mainly content-driven, I really still needed to build it up alongside my 9-to-5. And so 5 years later, I received a wonderful opportunity to make a collegiate institution my client and provide them with digital content marketing. And that client ultimately launched Pope Productions as a full-scale as a full-scale company that, is now generating profitable revenue. So I am hugely grateful, and I'm really excited to say that we've come a long way, and now we're here. Started from the bottom, and now we're here like in real life.
Yes, I love it. Well, super congratulations on being a full-time entrepreneur. Super congratulations on Pope Productions. There's some congratulations on all the things that you were done and how you, like you stated, started from the bottom, but you did not give up, and look at it now. Amazing.
I mean, really, yeah, it is a not giving up kind of story.
Yes, I love it. For our listeners that are listening, it just shows that you have to rest but not quit, right? You have to rest but not quit.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
Rest but not quit. I'm keeping that one. That's true.
It is. It's so true. It's so true. And Kristen, you're so passionate about women and media. So please tell us more about your passions.
So, I mean, as a young woman who grew up around a lot of really loving and just loving, beautiful women, who supported one another, I just always had a love for us, for women, and always wanted to see us shine. I saw healthy friendships growing up, so I knew what it was like to be in a healthy friendship with other women, and so I just always have been a supporter of women. And then as far as media is concerned, for me, television and the digital device, well, first, let me get back to television. Television is probably one of our greatest inventions, if not the greatest invention. I'd probably say the cell phone may be the greatest invention, but the television is such an amazing invention because it is literally broadcasting a vision around the world. If you have a television, you're getting somebody's vision all the time. And so I was just always fascinated by the images I saw, by the stories that were being told, and I always knew that I was going to be on television one day. I knew that I had a career on TV in the future.
I love it. I love it. And you have been doing amazing things within the media industry, right? I consistently follow you, and so you're doing some great things, So I wanted to commend you for creating that space with Pope Productions and all the other things that you've done in the media and with women.
Thank you so much. And I am grateful. Like I feel like I can confidently say that today I have carved out my space in media that is really growing.
Which is what I want to talk about next, carving a space out in the media. What are some strategies you would give to women who are trying to grow themselves in the media industry, right? So what are some strategies you would give so they will know, hey, when you first started out, you have to build yourself, right? I know that's definitely important. So would you kind of like talk to our listeners who are trying to grow to get to the level that you are at?
Mm-hmm. So my initial niche, I went to school. I went to Hampton University. Shout out to my Pirates. I went to Hampton University and studied broadcast journalism. And that, translated is typically someone who's going to be reporting the news on TV. And so, I started there, got a degree, had a very curvy journey to my first job on air. I moved to New York straight out of college, didn't really have a strategy, to be honest, for how to obtain a job on air, and I eventually got a mentor, and that mentor really helped walk me into my first job. So I would say number one strategy, have a mentor, because a mentor can help you build a plan, build a framework, a blueprint, a vision for how you're actually going to, break in a particular industry, break in the media industry. So that was number one. I had wonderful, wonderful relationships and sponsors. Another great sponsor of mine was Dee Marshall. She gave me an opportunity that really kind of changed the trajectory of my career. I was doing a lot of freelancing, and she offered me an opportunity that validated my ability to interview high-level people. And so I was interviewing Blair Underwood and Lynn Whitfield on the red carpet 10 years ago before I had like a legit job, but it legitimized what I was doing. So another strategy is make great relationships. Great relationships, because when you have favor with people, they will open doors that no man can close. They'll open doors that you don't have the qualifications for, but because they have favor on you, it could change your life, and it really did for me. So those two things I would say, mentor and sponsorship, were two strategies to change my life, and then just continuing to do it. I would take anything. I mean, you know, a lot of people ask me how to break in today. How do I get opportunities? Back in the day, dating myself, but, you know, 10, 15 years ago, you would just know, you would get plugged into the community, know what was going on, volunteer your services. Hey, can I interview, you know, your event? Hey, can I cover your event? You do whatever you had to do to get content to create a reel. And that's what I did. I was hungry, and you got to stay hungry.
I love that. So number one, having a mentor in the industry who is where you want to be, right? D. Marshall is amazing. It's amazing.
She is flat out amazing.
Yes. Number two, making those great relationships. Relationships are everything. So I love that you spoke about that, because our destiny is tied to our connections, and we have to build those genuine reciprocal relationships.
Yes.
And the last one, listeners, volunteering. Yes. You know, you might not get paid opportunities at first, but volunteering to open up many doors. Can you talk more about, Kristen, how those volunteer opportunities created more doors? Because it was off those relationships which was more valuable than money.
Oh, my gosh. You know, that and when you're first starting out in this, you know, in the media industry, you typically need a reel. You need some level of portfolio. We all need a portfolio of work in our respective industries. And so for us, it's a reel, it's a portfolio of work that says, hey, I can interview someone, I can tell a great story, I can cover, I'm a great presenter, I'm a great speaker. And the way you do that is you got to work. You know, you have to get work. And so sometimes it's literally, you know, volunteering your services. That is what I did. I let people know of my intention. Listen, I want to be an on-air broadcaster full time. And so I took one job, which led to the next job, which led to the next job, because people saw what I was trying to do. So they were like, oh, that's what she does? Let me help her out. Let me open another door. And it just kept opening doors because I kept putting myself out there and kept building my work. And most of the times at the beginning, it was unpaid.
I love that. You kept putting yourself out there, right? You kept, as I always say, shoot your shot, right? And that's what I tell everybody.
Oh, my goodness,
shoot your
I kept
shot.
shooting my shot.
Shoot your shot. And then the next one, go to the next one.
And for some people, you know, and you have to be willing to to look like a fool sometimes, you know. You have to be willing to look crazy to people. You know, some people won't do it because they don't want to get out there with a camera. My husband was my first cameraman. If I needed to be somewhere and I didn't have a cameraman, I would say, babe, listen, I have an opportunity. I need you to fill in. I need you to, you know, film this and videotape this. And he did. And that was just me putting my faith out there to say, you know what, like, I'm willing to do what it takes to get my foot in the door.
I love that. And for our listeners, if nobody gives you an opportunity on their platform, create your own opportunity, right? Whatever you need to do to get out there.
That's right. If I read something not too long ago, or maybe I posted something along the lines of, you know, if it's not there, if it doesn't exist, then maybe it's for you to create.
Yes, I love that, because it's so important that we do that to create our own opportunities. And, you know, getting in the media industry has the pros and the cons. So what are some pros and cons of the media industry?
I'd say, well, let's start with the pros. I'll start with the pros, go to the cons, and kind of circle back to the pros. The pros are that you have this opportunity to tell a vision, to shape a narrative. Hopefully it's yours. Hopefully it's a community, or it's a sector that you have investment in. So, you know, being able to shape a narrative is hugely important, and it carries a great weight with it, which is why I don't take it lightly. When people get on television and they, you know, are giving a story or telling a vision, somebody is ingesting that. Someone's taking that in. Someone's applying that to their life. So we have to be mindful with our words and mindful with what we say. But that's a big pro of being able to get on television. It provides exposure. It provides credibility. It provides the ability to shape a narrative. So those are totally the pros of being in media. On the other side, the cons, the media industry is a money-making business. So sometimes you're not always going to get to tell the story that you want to tell if you work for an organization. Sometimes your image isn't always represented the way you would like it to because companies are doing what's best for them. And that's why, circling back to the pros, it's so important to tell and shape your own narrative. And the media is the most powerful place to do that.
Yes, sharing your own narrative and just getting out there telling your story, right? And making sure. And what are your thoughts on, when you're creating content in the media, you want to make sure that you're solving a problem, right? Can we talk more about that? Why is good content so important that you bring in value as well?
Well, today it's so important because our, timelines are flooded. Your cell phone is, lighting up and alerting with all kinds of information. So you need good content because you want to stand out. There's enough bad content, honestly, that I feel like it's overwhelming people. It's creating, mental health issues. It's creating anxiety. It's creating all of these things. So good content stands out from all the rest. It looks different. It sounds different. It makes us feel different, and hopefully it makes us feel good. So on top of that, it's attached to your name. What do you want to be attached to your name when someone goes and looks for it? And again, probably the biggest thing is how are you going to stand out from the millions of pieces of content that are being promoted every single day?
And that's so key. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to be unique to the next person, right? So I love that you said that because that's so important when it comes to creating good content. You want to be able to stand out, and that's important. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that because that is definitely key.
Yeah.
So you are the CEO and founder of Pope Productions. So tell us more about your company and how we can support and get involved, all that great stuff.
Thank you so much. So as I said earlier, Pope Productions is a multimedia company. And by that, I mean we specialize in multimedia curation and culture-shaping content and production. And so my company has the ability to create short-form videos. I work with entrepreneurs to help them best present themselves on camera. A lot of entrepreneurs want to get press, but they need to know how to perform well on camera when given the opportunity. And so I help entrepreneurs do that. I have clients where I do digital content marketing for them, which is basically social storytelling and social strategy. I also have the Kristen Pope brand. I do a lot of speaking, a lot of hosting. Also under the company, I have an online course. So all things multimedia, you name it, and Pope Productions is handling it little by little. So
Kristen has everything that you need if you are looking to be in the media industry, right, to help you get to the next level. And which is why I want to talk more about your show, Positive Controversy, which is set to release its second season this year. Yay!
It released today. It released today. The second season released today. Oh, my gosh. This is a long time coming. That's a whole nother episode. But this is a long time coming, and I'm so grateful. Season 2 of my talk show, The Positive Controversy, released today. It's on YouTube, the whole season, 8 episodes, 7 sketch comedy skits that enter these it's just I'm beside myself because it's just been the most amazing day. It went live at 7 a.m. this morning, and I'm so thrilled and proud.
Well, super congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So how can we tune in and, watch? I know it released today, so can you tell us more about how we can tune in and get involved?
Yes. So go to YouTube, go to the YouTube channel Kristen L. Pope TV, and that's spelled KRISTENLPOPE TV. You can go to the channel, and the whole playlist for season 2 of The Positive Controversy is there.
So listeners, please go and subscribe and, be involved and watch season 2. This is going to be amazing. Super congratulations again, Kristen.
Thank you. Yes, please go subscribe, watch it again, share with your family and friends, leave us your feedback, your comments. We have some amazing guests on season 2. We have Kid Fury, one half of the Read podcast. We have Tiffany the Budgetnista. We are talking entrepreneurship, women running the world. We have an episode that's totally dedicated to domestic violence. We're talking about health and wellness. Like, we really, really cover life. We really cover life and culture in the second season, and I just want everyone to go and enjoy it.
So please go do that now, listeners. Please go subscribe to Kristen's YouTube channel so you can be a part of season 2. I know it's going to be amazing, so go do that as soon as possible.
Yes. Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, so let's talk more about your own Air Academy and how people can purchase your services, and, let's talk more about that.
So the On Air Academy really answers the need of how do I break into media? How do I break in on air? I want to be on air. How do I do that? I got that question for the last 10 years. That's the number one question I always get. How did you get on air? How did you break in? And people want mentorship, which is what I suggested you do. And I just can't mentor everyone one-on-one. I would love to, but I can't. And so I actually have a few mentors that I'm working with. I am so to capacity, but I love to mentor. And I want to see people on air meeting their goals. I have a bias to women of color because there's not enough of us on air. And so more of us need to be on air, in the room, telling stories. And so this course is online. It is the master keys to securing your next job on air. You can go to KristenLPope.com and enroll in the course. And it is your next, it is your mentor, your digital mentor, to secure your next job on air.
So definitely go register and be a part of this. If you're looking to get into the media, if you're looking to continue to grow in the media, definitely go register and be a part of her amazing On Air Academy. She has the results, and she's doing this amazing. She's doing this consistently, and she is doing it every day, and she has learned from the best in the game.
I've learned from the best, and I'm teaching the best. I have, one of my favorite students, Tiffany Maddox. I love raving about Tiffany because Tiffany, I'm going to tell you her unique story. She's a mom of 4, and she became married, started having a family, and so, kind of put her career aspirations to the side. And so here she is saying, listen, I want to do this. I'm committed. Tiffany took my course, and don't you know that she got her first job on air and moved and lived long distance from her family to pursue this opportunity, and now she can say she's an on-air journalist. I mean, she is like, I just love Tiffany because that's the kind of hunger and the grit that you need to have, and she made it happen. And so this course is for aspiring, emerging, breaking in, all levels. This course will take you to your next opportunity.
So definitely register and be a part of the course if you're looking to grow and advance in the media. It is so important. And Tiffany's story sounds so amazing, Kristen. So definitely, Kristen is somebody you want to know. Tiffany is too, so look her up.
Yes, Tiffany Maddox. She is an inspiration.
Yes. So you also are the CEO and founder of the King's Daughters, Inc. So please tell us more about your amazing community.
So the King's Daughters, Inc. is really, that was my first kind of gift and offering to women, to my passion around women and us anchoring ourselves in our identity in Christ. And I created that while I was living in New York as a single woman, really just pursuing God and pursuing His call for my life. And so it is a community of women who are just, that's what we're doing. We're seeking Christ. And so you can follow us on Instagram at The King's Daughters. We have discipleship circles, and that is quarterly. And so you can join a discipleship circle. The next one is going to be in January, and it's really a intimate communal Bible study where we go through a certain topic for 4 weeks, and we seek God's word on it, and we come out of it transformed. So that's The King's Daughters, and it is my sacred safe space with women to really seek God and His purpose and His call for our lives.
I would like to thank you for creating that space. It is so important that we, trust God's timing and definitely make sure that we are healthy inside and out, and making sure that we are actually listening to Him, right, and listening to His guidance. So thank you for creating that space. And for our listeners, get involved with the King's Daughters, Inc., because Kristen is doing some amazing stuff. So that's definitely something that if you are looking for a community to be a part of, joining.
Yes.
So I asked all of my guests this question, Kristen. How did you create your seat at the table?
How did I create my seat at the table? I created my seat at the table by owning my power. And by that, I mean, I realized that I had more to give than the box that I was assigned to. And by that, I mean television news. I love television news, always wanted to be, a storyteller of sorts, saw that as a goal, pursued it, achieved it. But I saw more for myself. And by more, I meant that there were stories that I wanted to tell. There were conversations I wanted to have that I couldn't do in the traditional news setting. And so I created my own show, literally created my own show to say, I have more, I am more, there's more that I want to do. Same thing for entrepreneurship. I knew that I had, more gifts to invest in than my 9-to-5 would allow. And so I, continue to diversify. And now I have trust and equity with several different audiences, women of color, Christian women, mothers, media, because I decided to create my own table.
And you're consistently doing it. You're building multiple tables, by the way. I love it.
Yes. Yes.
So we all have a process on our journey. And we all, most people don't like to encounter the pain, but we have to embrace the pain to get to the next level. So what did failure teach you on your journey?
Failure taught me that I was trying, that I was putting myself out there, that I wasn't just sitting on the sidelines. Failure taught me that it's not final, that if I dusted myself off and got back up, that it would become a lesson. Failure truly is only failure if you stay down. If you decide to get back up and dust yourself off and keep going, that's when it transforms into a lesson. And so failure taught me, get back up and keep going so that this can become a lesson that you will use as a stepping stone.
I love that you said a lesson, because it is a lesson, right? It's always a lesson. It's not a failure. It's a lesson. And so if we learn from that, it opens doors for other opportunities, right? For us to get back up and do it again the right way, or to, do it again and try again for another result. So what did success teach you?
Success has taught me that it is a blip on the radar.
I like that. A blip on the radar.
Blip on the radar. Like that, on some level, success validates you. To talk about the pros of success. Success will give you validation in certain circles. Success is affirming for a few moments. Success gives you a certain level of visibility. But the truth of the matter is it's a blip on the radar. It happens, and then people are looking at you like Janet Jackson, like, what have you done for me lately? What have you done lately? And that's definitely the case in my business of, day turn television broadcasting, is that, You do a story today, but tomorrow there's new news. So what are we talking? It's like, what are we talking about today? Like, that was yesterday's news. So that's, to me, kind of what success is. It's like, it happened. Okay, so now what? Now what do you do? It's the same thing. You use it as a stepping stone. Maybe you use it as leverage, but you just don't stay there. You don't stay there. People they do not care about what you did 5 years ago, let alone 5 minutes ago. So you use it, as a form of validation. You use it as an affirmation. You use it maybe to say, I achieved something, and I can achieve something. So you know that you have the skills and the tool bag to do that, but you definitely don't stay there.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree more. That is so important. So I thank you for sharing that with the audience. And, you pretty much stated it all together. Pretty much it sums it up as just staying humble, right? So that's key.
Humble.
Yes.
Stay humble.
Yes. Stay
yes.
humble. Mm-hmm. So what should we expect from you the rest of 2019, Kristen? We're getting ready to walk to quarter four, and I know you're going to finish it strong. I mean, you have been knocking it out this year. So what else can we expect from you the rest of 2019?
Okay. So Pope Productions is fully alive, fully an S corporation. We are incorporated, y'all. It is the real deal. And so with that, I'm excited to continue to serve my client, Wellesley College. I'm excited to continue speaking. I'll be speaking in Detroit on September the 21st at the Chic Mom Conference. So if you're a listener in Detroit or going to be in Detroit, you should definitely come to the Chic Mom Conference. It's called the Spill the Tea panel. That's where I'll be speaking. I'm spilling all the tea about motherhood and all that good stuff. Along with the Mom Life Streets, I am releasing my very first devotional. The 31-day devotional is going to be a digital download. So that is coming with next week. In addition to that, the On Air Academy. I am so excited for the people who are currently enrolled. If you're listening and you want to break into the media industry, you want to be on air, you should definitely sign up for the course. It's on my website, KristenLPope.com, under courses On Air Academy. And so we're preparing, again, like I said, in January for the King's Daughters Discipleship Circle. So we're busy over here at the Pope Productions, and it's exciting, and it's a lot of work, but it's impactful work. It's impactful work, and I'm thankful that I can, after trying some things, after testing out some things, I feel like I have great focus on the areas where my voice is most impactful, and I'm pursuing those things on a daily basis.
Love it. So definitely go support Kristen. She's definitely somebody to know. As in her bio states, she's a woman to watch, right? That's true. Yes. She's a woman to watch. So definitely go support her and follow her. And speaking of that, Kristen, how can listeners follow you and support you on all social media platforms?
So on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you can follow me at Kristen L. Pope TV. On all of those platforms. I'm on LinkedIn as well. Definitely connect with me on LinkedIn at Kristen L. Pope. And my website, of course, KristenLPope.com.
So please follow and support her on all social media platforms. Kristen, thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come to the table. This is a very powerful interview, and I cannot wait to bring you back to the table.
Oh, Ashley, thank you so much. Thank you for providing this space. Thank you for inviting me on. Thank you for having such substantive conversation. I'm grateful that we have you in the space doing that. We need more of this, and I'm so humble and happy to contribute.
Thank you so much, and I can't wait to continue to work with you in the future.
Same here.
You are welcome. Thank you. So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.